Hello, this is Jamila Kusayinova, and you're watching Interview of the Day. Today we will be discussing educational technology, or EdTech, and the ways it has shaped our perception of education. First of all, let us start with the term EdTech. So many people have a vague understanding of what it really is and why it is so important today.
EdTech is basically all the technologies about education and the new technologies about education. Why it's so important? Because today most of the best companies in the world, like Facebook, Google, Apple, are companies that come from software. So building software, for example, and the software is a human capital. So basically, like if the most important resource of your country is oil, okay, the most important is the pump, okay, because you need the pump to get the oil. But if now in the world everything is about your brain, how to train your brain. So how to train your brain is about education. So the EdTech is all the technologies we can create to try to optimize your education, your brain going faster, stronger, better. You see what I mean?
With the introduction of technologies into our lives, how education delivery process has changed?
So in fact, the introduction of the technologies right now didn't really change the way we are learning. Okay, there is two different things. There is the technologies of education, and there is the technologies of education. So if you take like a teacher and you have a lecture facing the teacher, and you take a video of that teacher and put it on YouTube, you never change something about the technologies for education. But you change the technologies you are using. Instead of having the teacher, you have like a video, okay? So it's all about this right now. Like how, is there a real impact or not using technologies for education? And if not, should we change the technologies of education? It means like the way we are teaching. So the technologies of education, for example, we have like classrooms that we call like flipped classroom. So usually you go in a classroom, okay, the teacher is going to give you a lesson, and then when you have finished your lesson, you have an exam. Okay, this is the classical way to do things. A flipped classroom means like you're going to learn at home because you have a laptop, you have access to video, you have access to a lot of content because of the internet. So you're going to learn your lesson by yourself or with a couple of friends home. And when you go in the classroom, now it's to have a discussion with the teacher about the knowledge that you learn home. So it's what we call a flipped classroom. You see? So this is a change of the technologies of education.
EdTech in Kazakhstan. So where we at, what is yet to be done, and what are the key priorities for our country in this sphere?
About EdTech in Kazakhstan, first we must have a good analysis of each, for the EdTech for any kind of countries, we must have a good analysis of where the country comes from. So for example, for historical reason, you have a very strong level in mathematics on STEM in general, because your history over the last 100 years. You have a population that is disseminated all around the country, that is like super large country. So it doesn't work the same way like if you have a small country like Luxembourg in Europe, that is like as the size as just Astana, okay, with everyone inside. So you see, so sometimes in some part of your countries they don't have direct access to the internet, but maybe like 3Gs, or you see, so you have to choose the technologies that is the more adapt to the country.
Are there any possible ways that EdTech can threaten traditional way of educating people?
I don't think there is any threat. There is a lot of fear. The professors in university said like, oh, what's happened if you replace us by a computer or whatever. In fact, it's completely false. The study have shown that is not what's happening. Okay, what is happening is like you change the role of the teacher. So for example, let's say like instead of asking you to do the code and write your code on a paper and give it to me and I have to correct it and then I'm going to give you a mark, okay? You're going to directly do it on the computer. So the computer is going to assess your code and give you the mark directly. What do you think? Finally, it's better for the teacher because you don't have to spend like hours on hours trying to correct copies or these kind of things. And maybe at the end you're going to spend like more time with the students, or maybe you're going to work about something else than just what you used to do. So it's going to transform the way you are teaching. But for education, human-to-human relationship is something very important.
Is there any way that we can make sure that EdTech can enable access to education for everyone?
There is like recent studies has shown like so when really like kind of EdTech starts, like Coursera or whatever, they say to themselves like it's incredible because now we have first one teacher for 1 million students, and the cost of the teacher is going to divide by 1 million. So I can provide you an incredible degree of course for just really few couple of dollars, okay? So the promise was absolutely incredible. But in fact, the study right now shown like, especially if we are talking about MOOCs and these kind of things, like there is a lot of this implementation are in fact grabbed by families who are really connected, for example. So you need a really good internet connection, you need to have a computer, and this is pretty costly, you see what I mean? So finally, this has accelerated a lot, like mid-class and upper class, but not so much for lower class.
Thank you so much. That was Interview of the Day with me, Joly.